welcome to Summer Intercession Episode 4 of Chatting with Chargers. I'm your host, Rob Dillman, and we have a very special interview today. We're interviewing our producer. Why don't you, we all know you, but introduce yourself.
Okay. What's up, everybody? Hello. My name is Maynard. Let's do the Chatting with Chargers. I'm your host and producer. Not your host today, but I'm your guest and producer, Thomas Maynard. I'm a communications student here at the University of New Haven with a concentration in film production and media entrepreneurship. And I'm going to be a junior starting in the fall semester of this year. And other things that I do besides manage these guys and produce this wonderful show. I'm the manager of the radio station down at W1HU here on campus. Come check us out, 46 Ruby Street. You've heard us say that many times on the show here with different guests from the radio station's history. Plus, you've got Classic Fusion every Friday 2 to 4 p.m. playing your favorites in 70s, 80s, and 90s rock and roll right on 88.7 WNHU.
First off, I want to ask, what initially inspired you to create Chatting with Chargers?
Well, the story goes, it wasn't initially my idea, actually. It was, well, the idea of Chatting with Chargers was, but like, I was with my grandmother last summer. I go up to, she lives in Rhode Island, and we spend, I go every summer, I like to spend a week there, a few days here and there, whatever. We were going to Staples because she had a bunch of old electronics she wanted to get rid of. And I saw this mic for PC for like playing games and streaming and stuff. It was usually like, I think, $100 or $150 mic. It was on sale real cheap, like, I think it was $50. My grandma said, oh, I'll get that for you. And then as we were leaving, she said to me, do you think you could go around campus with a mic like that and interview students? And that's kind of what got me started. Then I talked to Ryan. Ryan and I got involved. I mean, I knew there would be weeks that I couldn't do the show. So we got Marion involved. And then we talked to Bruce from the radio station, got him sort of back the project, if you would. Like, sort of keep it, like have a faculty member that could sort of be our backup if we needed to go through any loopholes. We talked to the marketing team here at UNH, and everything got up and running.
Yeah, that's sweet. Our next question, so growing up, like in your younger years, what made you realize, you wanted to go in this direction career-wise, something like that?
Well, the younger years, I didn't really even in my younger years even think about media or film, video, television. But it was just over COVID, stuck at home, started making stupid little YouTube videos and things of that nature. And
Star Wars edits?
No, not Star Wars edits, not yet, no. But we did a little bit of those, but it was just sort of self-teaching, just sort of something to keep me occupied. And then as high school progressed and things became more normal again, as they say, I was able to sort of, develop this passion. It transformed into, there was doing things on my own, tried to start my own company called New Haven Communications, which it was good for the years that I did it, and it still could be something that I could pick up in the future. It's in sort of a limbo state, sort of just like on hiatus now. But then I hooked up with a studio called East Haven Public Television, who I now freelance for, and I was able to sort of, through all of that, work my way up, and then sort of come here to the university and get to where we are today.
So I know we touched a little bit in the first question about the startup process, but what was the startup process like when you first got to UNH, you're first starting to begin the show, and can you walk us through the process, maybe the first few shoots, like the initial shooting?
Well, the first
few episodes.
Well, okay, the first episode, we got a story to go along with that. How sort of the first ever shoot of Chatting with Chargers was delayed a little bit. But we'll get there. So the startup process, it actually started in about a year ago, actually, from when we're seeing this episode come out. I emailed Bruce Barber I got Ryan involved. Then I emailed Bruce Barber of WNHU to see if this was even something that would be possible, what would I need to go through, and things like that. Then Ryan and I had a Zoom meeting, I think it was end of July, with the university's marketing team, where we discussed the project. Because I didn't want to, not only did I want to know what permissions we needed to sort of go around and film people like this, but I wanted to know, would the marketing team be okay with it, and would we be overstepping sort of what they do marketing the university? Because our goal isn't necessarily to market the university. I mean, we definitely do that. but it's sort of to get the real stories of the students unfiltered, because the marketing team is, which they do a great job. I can't discount them, but they're gonna always say what's good about the university and not talk about sort of struggles and negatives. What we like to do on Chatting with Charters is sort of say the negative, we don't like X, Y, and Z, but to make it better, A, B, C could be implemented, or we'd like to sort of bring up these issues to get them rectified and sort of fixed in a way that best benefits the students. But the first couple of shoots, we went, it was the move-in day of the freshman of the fall 2025 semester last year, and we sort of went, got it involved. We had Marion come because Ryan couldn't be there for one of the shoots, so because he had the orientation for himself. So we got Marion involved. Marion was a very valuable asset to the early shoots because he had the personality to go up to people and sort of pitch them the show and get them engaged. And when he interviewed, he was able to keep them engaged, keep them going beyond, here's question 1, here's question 2, here's question 3. And then as we kept going, there was a week that I couldn't even be there at all. So we had Ryan and Marion do it. Then homecoming came, or it was a family day actually. I couldn't be there because I had to do the football game. I had to help produce do the shoot for that. I was on camera that day. And so Marion and Adam actually, he guest hosted for a few. He was our original guest host was Marion. And then our second guest host was Adam. And then Marion became full host. Adam became full host. And then it kept going on from there. Then we got Joe involved as a guest host. When it came time to the homecoming, I couldn't be there again, and that was much more of an involved shoot getting on the field. So we had, because Ryan couldn't even be there, so we had Joe come in for that, and then the crew just kind of grew naturally from there.
So actually that's perfect where we ended off there, talking about the crew, because our next question is, can you walk us through what it's been like building up the crew over the seasons?
Well, all right. Well, the initial season was going to be me as host and producer, and Ryan, not as the operations manager, but as a host of the show. And sort of the first episode was me and Ryan. We did that initial clip you'll see where we welcome everybody to the show in episode 1 was me and Ryan. We were there. We were the host there. Then the second shoot of that day, when we cut to when we were over by West Side later down in the episode, that was when Marion came in as a guest host because Ryan couldn't be there. So Marion was kind of the guest host who would fill in as people weren't able to be there. Then we kept moving on. It became episode 3. Marion was just we were like, Marion's doing such a great job, we'll make Marion a full host. It was me, Ryan, and Marion doing the show. We did that for a while. Episode 7, I think it was, we had Family Day, as I said. Adam came in as a guest host. It was Adam and Marion as the host and Adam as the guest host. And then we kept going up. Then Joe joined us at the homecoming, the following episode, as a guest host. He stayed on guest hosting. Then later, Adam just kept coming and coming and coming to the shoots. We made him a full-time host, which was a great asset to the show. Then we did that. Then Joe, at the end of the season, became a full host for season 2. Then we kept going. We started this. Ryan, we realized over the course of the season, wasn't that good on camera, but he was great at, filming, shooting, and doing behind the scenes. So we moved him to be our operations manager, give him a spiffy little title, and have him help out in ways that best benefited him. Then when he left for Italy, he became our Italy host, taking pictures for Ryan's Bizarre Adventure. We knew we were going to lose out on a valuable crew member. So what we did was we started the guest host program, which was each week a student from the university would come on as our guest host for just that episode. Then you, Rob, came in as a guest host on episode 3, and then eventually you just kept showing up. Super Bowl, yeah. Kept showing up and showing up and showing up, and then you became the full-time host.
I got the job.
You got the job, yeah. And then after that, we were sort of watching the hosts as each of them came on with us and worked with us. Not only as it was great that they joined us and they had a good time, but to see who would best fit a full-time position in the fall that's coming up. And we picked 6 people. 4 3 of them were previous guest hosts. One of them was somebody who was supposed to be a guest host, but the scheduling never worked out. They never were able to do it, but they'll be a great asset to the team. And then there were 2 people who Ryan had met over in Italy who helped him out on a couple of his sort of posts, and they'll be a good asset to our team as well.
Now, as we close out this first section, can you tell us, maybe what's the biggest difference or differences from the beginning of Chatting with Chargers to present day?
Well, the beginning, it was more, our format definitely has changed, and I much prefer our current format, and we're going to stick with it. Our previous format was, we had this table with the tablecloth, custom tablecloth. We would set it up in one spot around campus, each week, different spot, and just sort of as people came, we would grab them and interview them. But what we decided to do after a couple of shoots like this, and especially in season 2, was walk around. Instead of sitting in one spot, we'll walk around, meet the students where they are, get a lot more interviews doing that. And then the other thing I think that's the biggest difference is pitching to people. A lot of people back in season 1 didn't know who we were, what's Chatting with Chargers. It was new, so it wasn't something that people knew. But now that it's sort of gained momentum, become, I'd say, somewhat popular by virtue of the university standards, and now we're able to go up to people and say, hey, we're Chatting with Chargers. Some people even come up to us saying, I've seen your stuff. Can I get an interview? So I think that's really what's the biggest difference is people now know us, and one thing we're going to be doing in season 3, which I think will be valuable to us, we're going to have custom jackets that we're in the process now of getting made, which will also help because when we have shoots, not only will we stay warm, but it'll say Chatting with Chargers big on the back. People will know it's not just a random group of students coming up to you, rushing you. It's Chatting with Chargers. We have our official jackets, and we look great for the job.
Yeah, I notice this guy's talking like a high-ranking Imperial. Like, this is going to be valuable to us. That's going to be valuable to us.
You're going to be valuable to us.
I sure hope so. All right, let's move on to our second section. Now, I think you'll like this question here.
Ooh.
Is there a specific favorite episode or moment on the show for you, and why?
Well, okay, I'm going to give 2 moments. I'll give a moment with me, and I'll give a moment that's just my favorite. The moment with me, that's my favorite. My favorite episode was episode 10 of season 1. I don't think we'll ever be able to top sort of having a guest more high-ranking than this one. It was Jens Fredrickson, the president of the University of New Haven. You remember that episode? We had Ryan kept saying we should wait on getting the president on, and I was just like, let's just, worst he could say is no. And I expected nothing or anything, but the same day I emailed his secretary, whoever takes care of his emails, got back to me and said that he'd be more than happy to come on and do the interview with us. And we did. It turned out very well. A lot of people watched it and liked it. But the moment for me, I think that stands out the most, and it's going to become our homecoming tradition. If Marianne wants to come back for homecoming and do it, definitely we would love to have Marianne come do it. But if not, we'll pick a random host to come. If any of the other hosts want to jump on and do it too. Marianne dancing with the cheerleaders, it was the dance team, not the cheerleaders. That was sort of a favorite moment of mine because it was a spontaneous. Marianne was like, what if I tried to go dance with the cheerleaders and see if they would do it with me? And they did. So that's definitely not only a favorite moment of mine, but the crew as a whole. I know you really like that moment too. Marianne dancing. You'll be next.
Oh, man. All right. So talking about going forward, what are your goals for season 3 and beyond?
My goal for season 3, I think, will be to take it much slower than we took it in season 2. Season 2, we did Mondays and Friday shoots, so we shot twice a week. We had so much footage. I don't want to say it was overwhelming, but I want to say it was like we had so much that it was like we filmed, like let's say we filmed an episode today, you're not going to see it for like a month and a half.
Yeah, editing is a hassle.
Not that the editing was a hassle, because the editing was easy. They were done, but it was just we only release Fridays at 12. So there were some weeks we had to secretly release double features, But for going for season 3, take it slow. We're going to move back, I think, to once a week shoots. I think that's going to be more once a week, here and there twice, like if it's a special event week, Like the first week, we're going to shoot twice. We're going to shoot early in the week, first day back to campus, meet all of our new hosts, go around, meet the students, hang out. But then that Friday, we're going to have the involvement fair, and we're going to be always back at the involvement fair. My goals are to hit the same topics as season 1, because it's going to be the same time of year, but hit different aspects of it. Like, we're going to go back to the family day, definitely be over there interviewing parents and families. We're going to be around at the homecoming game, definitely going to do that. We're going to hit Halloween topics again, but it's not just going to be generically Halloween. It's going to be, we'll talk about ghost stories, or we'll talk about campus legends like Adam had mentioned previously. And I think another goal of mine is to get the hosts more involved in the behind the scenes end of it, like not necessarily producing, like making questions, but coming up with like ideas. Here's something I think we should talk about, or here's something that I think is valuable for the students to know about or to speak upon, and have them sort of give that, and then I can formulate questions. They can help if it's a topic that they know better than I do myself.
All right, so how do you think crew members coming over from Prado, like returning or coming over, gives viewers insight into study abroad in that program?
Well, I think they could definitely give their insights, because one episode we could do would be, it wouldn't just be like what we did with Ryan, where we interviewed him about being in Prado. You could do an episode where you go around, you ask the students, have they studied abroad in Prado, talk about you would have two sets of questions. One, if the student has not studied abroad, you would just touch upon things like, where would you like to if you go to any country in the world to study? Where would you go and why? Would you ever consider studying abroad? Another thing we could touch upon is, for students who have studied abroad, where did you go? What made you decide to go there? How has it affected you coming back to West Haven and now being back in the United States? Has it changed you in the way you think about things?
All right, so to close out section 2, now I know we have our viewers and stuff are mostly, fellow students,
right,
or families of ours or other students.
Yeah.
How would you like to, talking about expanding to, just like viewers outside UNH, just becoming, more popular? How would you like to expand, and how do you think that would be possible?
Well, I think we are expanding. One thing I do like to see is when I'm going through making my posts on Instagram and stuff, I see, new follower on Tango Chargers. I just like to check to sort of, for myself as a fellow student, meet new people, see who's following, where they come from. And one thing I like seeing in the bio is UNH, or at U New Haven 30, meaning freshmen who are coming in for the class of 2030 who haven't even started at the university yet are already following the page and sort of building that. And I don't know if there's necessarily a need for outside UNH people to watch, because I don't consider alumni, they're not outside UNH people, they're within the community.
Yeah. Families
Families aren't outside people either. So I just think it's more relevant for students and their families, faculty and their families, anybody connected with somebody who goes here, whether they work here, they previously went here, currently go here, whatever. Anybody who's connected to the university in some aspect, I think is a good fit to sort of do it. And I eventually I'd like to expand it where every single student follows the page and watches.
Now moving on to the third section. So talking about idols, inspiring people, are there any certain, maybe it's someone that's personal to you, or maybe even someone famous like an artist or an author or something that you look up to? Are there certain people you've looked up to on your journey so far that you'd want to mention?
I don't know. I mean, definitely there's nobody starting out that I looked up to, but I guess there's people who I could mention, some mentors, I guess, that sort of have been very valuable in my experience here at UNH. Definitely all the communications professors that I've had here at the university, You've had some of them too, and they're all valuable. They all would like to see the students succeed and help them out in any way that they can. But the one person I think who, especially here, who works here, that has helped me out the most sort of with everything that I've done is Bruce Barber. He's been sort of not only in chatting with Chargers, but he's been valuable in my career and time at W1HU, helping me to succeed. We did a independent, the way things actually formed was my freshman year, I kind of just did my show to do my show and was sort of doing my thing. But in the, Bruce brought up to me spring of 2024, that semester, spring of 25, really, that I could do that fall an independent study course with him where the class would literally be to come in and do my radio show. So he started mentoring me. We did that independent study. Then it sort of moved into the previous station manager that we had last school year was going to be a senior. Is going to be a senior this coming year. And he wanted to sort of step down as station manager to focus on his graphic design major and build that. So they were like, well, what can we do this semester to better prepare the next station manager? And who should the next station manager be? And the first person that came to both of their minds was me. And sort of Bruce, we spent the last semester mentoring me and bringing me up to become the next W1HU station manager, which I can say now I'm officially taking that role on and getting started.
The difference in the size of the crew from the beginning to now, what does the difference in the size mean to you? How we've grown?
Help. Help, help, help. That is the number one word. Help is the biggest thing, because it's like, now that I'm becoming the W1HU station manager, events like involvement fair, homecoming, at least the morning part of it, I'm not going to be around because I have to do my duties as station manager, sitting at the W1HU table at the involvement fair, recruiting, the W1HU alumni breakfast. I'm going to have to attend events like those as W1HU, not chatting with Chargers, so there will be less time that I can spend. But if we have a bigger crew, I can sort of say, okay, Ryan's going to be in charge as your operations manager. Go out, hear your questions, shoot. I'll be around if there's questions and things like that, and I can meet up later. Plus, we don't have to have, I feel like it was straining on our crew in season 2, them having to be at every single shoot every time when not everybody can make it all the time. Having a bigger crew not only provides broader perspectives on to topics, but it allows this crew to say, okay, this week I can't be there, I have an event from my club or from my frat or whatever the heck they join. And then you just, extra help, definitely. I'm sure you can relate and are definitely helpful, grateful to have that extra help.
Oh yes, I'm very grateful. It's awesome rebuilding up a crew where it's not just you and me on a random Thursday, below zero temperatures.
Yapping about absolutely nothing for 2.5 hours.
You're just going around for an hour. It's like, campus is dead, part 11. No, but actually, guys, he was saying help because he heard the questions from section 3.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, that's why you said help.
Yeah.
Because the questions were so corny in section 3.
Help, help, help.
All right, so as I told you earlier, I did 4 sections for this one.
Yep.
So we're going to our final section.
All right.
The first question, I like this question. I think you will too.
All right.
There are several, running jokes that we have going on the show. Can you tell us which one is your favorite?
I don't know. It's not going to fly in the fall because it's not going to be true. Campus is dead, part whatever. That was a funny joke. The other one that I liked were the bees. This is going to be the one we got to watch out for the fall. The bees are coming to W1HU. That's our running joke. We're going to get hit by the hornets and killed. I think that's going to happen in season 3. We're going to have to hire a new host because Rob is going to be gone at the end of season 3 because the hornets are going to come for him. I also like the one who's going to get slimed out at the end of the season.
Who decided the season finale? How many?
Season finale. How many hosts can you slime out in one episode?
If you think of we talk about Lord of the Rings a lot.
Oh yeah.
And Return of the King, I saw someone was saying they're hearing critiques because there were no major protagonist deaths in Return of the King.
Did you need one though? There was a major protagonist death. Gollum, get him out.
Well, he's kind of...
Gollum's the protagonist.
More like an antagonist. But let's finish this up with our last few questions. going forward, what can viewers expect out of the show? Like more of the same or new? I know we've touched upon this a bit today, but would you say it'd be more new changes or more same?
I think it's going to be more of the same with new faces. It's going to be like we're going to see everything that we've seen in the previous seasons, like same format. We're not going to, I don't think unless there's an absolute need for us to do it, we're not going back to the table in one spot. I think that's just a dead format that's not going to work out. If there's a certain event that we need to be in one spot, like the involvement field will only really be on the Maxi Quad. However, we're not going to be sitting at a table in the Maxi Quad. We're going to be walking around the quad, interviewing clubs, interviewing people. But I think what they can expect in Season 3 is new faces and a lot of multi-parters to release on the same day. That's something we started in Season 2, because I don't think it's fair if I interview somebody or somebody gets interviewed to cut their interview because of time. If there's a film error or if the interview is not appropriate, whatever, you have to cut it. But I think it's more appropriate to sort of say, okay, there's a lot of interviews. We'll do 2 15-minute episodes, part 1 and part 2, both releasing on the same day, and just shoot a new intro and a new outro, and you're good to go. What can they expect from you? That's what I want to ask.
Can they expect from me?
Yeah.
Hopefully availability, job, depending. Probably more running jokes.
What's your favorite running joke?
No, I don't know. Well, there's a bunch. There's like you give me a new nickname every episode.
Oh, yes, I like that one too.
You forgot about that one.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a bunch. There's probably some we can't talk about.
No, we can't. Sorry.
But there's one question left.
Oh, okay. Get to the last
I don't know if
question.
I like it, but because it's kind of a bunch of stuff we've touched on already.
Well, I'll make it different then.
But we could touch on it some more. If there's anything you could change about the show, what would it be and why?
Well, I think what we're gonna see in Season 3 is exactly that. I've asked myself multiple times if I could change anything, what would I change? And I mean, it's my show, so I change what I want to change, sort of when I want to change it. I mean, yes, all the hosts are gonna be consulted and all the whole crew. It's not just a me thing, but at the end of the day, I'm the producer, so it's like I can make the final say about I want to change this or I want to change that. But I think Season 3 is gonna be. Just stay tuned for Season 3. That's gonna be the.
It's gonna be peak.
It's gonna be peak, and it's gonna be exactly what that question is hoping to answer.
Absolute cinema.
Absolute cinema. And now you got to get to your stuff. You got to get the audience out of here.
All right, so let's wrap it up on. This was Summer Intercession, Episode 4 of Chatting with Chargers. I've been your host, Rob Dillman. Here with our producer.
Host and producer, Thomas Maynard. What's up, everybody?
Yeah, what's up, chat?
New episodes every Friday. I'm going to take your stuff.
Go on, go ahead.
You want me to say it?
Yeah.
New episodes every Friday at 12 p.m. We're going to have daily posts on Facebook and Instagram, clips and everything. And we'll see you next time, everybody. Got any final words?
All right, so to wrap it up, thank you for your time. This is Chatting with Chargers.
We'll see you next week.